So first off, I wanted to start by saying happy birthday, belated birthday. What'd you do to celebrate your birthday, your 26th birthday?
Oh, well, I actually was traveling here for a lot of the day, coming from Kansas City to here, and then I got in at probably around 5.
So you didn't get to celebrate that much yet?
No, I'm gonna tell you. So I had dinner later on. I got in, I got rested, and had dinner with some friends, and then I actually had a party after that.
Okay.
It was very intimate, a lot of ladies.
Okay. For the past year, it's been nonstop touring for you, being on the Blueprint 3 tour with Jay-Z, your own Passion, Pain, and Pleasure tour, and now you're on tour with Usher for the OMG tour. How are you handling being on the road so much, like for the past year, like nonstop?
Before I was known as a touring act, I actually stayed on the road doing spot dates, whether it be in clubs or theaters, smaller venues when I was on a smaller scale as an artist. So it's not something that I'm not used to. But it definitely it weighs on the body, and it's hard to deal with, and you have to be a certain type of healthy and have a certain type of mindset to be able to do it consistently. So I'm kind of used to it.
Is there any regimen that you do on like a routine basis just to keep your, focus and, to keep your voice up, everything that you do on tour?
Yeah, definitely. Take vitamins every day to make sure that, because, moving from different climates.
Right.
Like, we was in 80-degree weather like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
So making sure of that, making sure I warm up before shows, making sure that and I do these interviews like for like 6-7 hours a day before shows. So it's very, very much important that I watch the way I speak and watch what I eat and make sure that I'm fed and rested as possible.
Right. Now, last night I got an email because I'm subscribed to your newsletter, and you just released your mixtape, Let Me Hold That Beat. Now, how did this all come about, and what made you decide to release it now, and especially on your birthday?
Well, on my birthday, because it's, basically my gift to my fans on my birthday. They've given me so much. I just want to continuously give back. And the thought process behind it is just, I haven't made a mixtape in a long time. I put 2 albums out and haven't done a mixtape in between, and usually there are mixtapes between every album.
Yeah.
So I felt as though that was missing, and I was gone too long from that space, and I just wanted to remind people that that is something that I'll still be doing, even though I've acquired mainstream success at
Right,
this point.
Right. Okay. Now, I see that you're very active on your social networks, like with Twitter, Facebook, your fan page, like I said, your newsletter, your YouTube, and also your live streaming. As a recording artist, how do you think that the social media has evolved to favor the changing times of the music industry?
It gives you a direct connection to the fans. Versus having a middle person, whether it be, no pun intended, like no harm meant, whether it be this interview, which is contrived, which has to be a certain amount of time, which has to be a certain amount of questions, which has to be what you want to know, what you think the fans want to know, versus me going to the fans and seeing what they want to know,
right,
and having that conversation with them. And it's very much more personable to come from an artist, telling them what they're doing, telling them what I'm doing, telling them, having conversations with them. That's something that's priceless.
Yeah.
Something that you couldn't do years ago. You had to send like a fan mail and a letter.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side of things, like, some artists have kind of, with the social networks, with albums being leaked, with the technology that we have now, and it's spreading so quickly, especially with your Twitter, you have over 1.2 million followers, on Facebook you have 5.5 million fans. Like, how do you control that? Like, do you have any kind of...
I mean, you got to take the good with the bad, as far as piracy is concerned, and as far as Twitter and Facebook, knowing what to say and when to say it. Some people forget their celebrities and take these things and say stuff that not that they shouldn't, because it's freedom of speech, but say things that aren't to the best advantage for them.
Right.
So it's all in self-containment and knowing how to compartmentalize, my life Trey Songz, my music, my family. You know,
Right.
it's all in separation and knowing how to use them to your advantage.
Okay. Now, I read this article in the New York Times, and they described your voice as delicate and dangerous. Now, most wouldn't know how to use these words to describe someone's voice, but I think it's the best description I've heard, like, to date. How would you describe, like, your sound? Like, how would you say? Because you know how there's been so many comparisons between you and R. Kelly, or it's just, how would you describe it?
I was definitely influenced by R. Kelly as well as a million others. You know, Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway, Isley Brothers, Luther Vandross. So, you know, everyone has a bit of someone within them. And, you know, I'm still growing as an artist. And I would, myself right now, how would I describe my music? It's soulful, it's urban, it's crossover, it's you know, I really love to sing. It's soulful. It's me singing. It's me expressing. It's very much passionate. It's very much delicate, and sometimes, and it's very harsh sometimes. You know? So it's
so delicate and dangerous.
Delicate and dangerous is actually a great.
Now on BET.com, they have a section called 10 Things You Didn't Know About Trey Songz. Have you read those 10 things? Okay. Now, they list number 10 that you and Drake, and I quote, are BFFs. And they put BFFs. Being in a city for the show tonight, how does it feel to see your good friend's success over the past couple years?
That's my man. You know, and we have drinks and talk about our success often. We talk about life, what's new, what's old, you know, what we miss from the old days. And, you know, it's so ill to have a conversation with a guy going through the same things you're going through. That's a good friend of yours. You know, so just to see the success he's attained and, you know, to be basically simultaneous, that we've done amazing things within our careers is phenomenal. I'm very proud of him.
So can we expect any collabos soon?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe.